Good evening. Happy Saturday. Sunday, I should say. I wanted to go live. I go live a lot and I talk about my Scentsy business because it's something I'm passionate about. Scentsy helped me change my outlook in life. It helped me trust others. It allowed me to have faith in humanity and realize that not everyone is out to get me, that there is people out there who want to help. But a lot of people just know me as Tiffany Kid, Scentsy director, Milo's girl, things of that nature. And I want to kind of share, if I may, some other things about me, some of the things I've been through, some of my experiences, strengths, and hopes for the future. I'm really kind of nervous right now. This isn't something I ever thought I would have done, but I think it's important right now with all the bullying and bullshit going on in the world for us to share what we have been through so others can know that, yes, you might be going through this right now, but it's a temporary issue, and it will get better. It will get better. So I want to talk about just how much difference a decade can make, how much difference 5 years can make, how much difference a year can make. So let's rewind to 10 years. 10 years ago, I was 26 years old. I was a new mother. I got caught up into addiction again after the birth of my oldest son, and it was rough. Previously to having my children, I had some run-ins with the law. I had been in trouble from alcohol abuse. And then after my oldest son was born, I cut down, but, I went right back into opiate abuse, which so many of us can understand because a lot of us either have a family member who is actively using right now or, us ourselves are recovering addicts. So no one's immune to it. You would think the birth of my first son would make me want to stay clean, but it didn't do that for me before you knew it. Before I knew it, I should say. I was homeless in a detox in the middle of New Bedford, a place I had never been, away from my 4-month-old baby, and it was driving me insane. You would think I would smarten up after that. 26-year-old Tiffany was very stubborn. I didn't get any care after that. I just went right back into what got me into the mess I was in. So I did a lot of couch hopping. I was homeless for approximately 3 years. Okay. I did a lot of couch hopping. I got kicked out of a lot of houses. I was used to just living, just surviving, not living. I was used to always having to give someone something just to stay in their house for an hour or two, whether it be a cigarette, whether it be $5, whether it be a substance of their choice. I felt like I wasn't good enough. And that anything I did in life, well, there must be a price. Well, come to find out that those people really weren't my friends. They were what I called enablers, and maybe some of them were my friends, but at the time they were enabling me. So 3 years of homelessness will do a lot to a person. It makes you lose trust in people. It can make you lose faith in humanity. It can do a lot to a person. I was fortunate enough to not be in that position for longer than I was. I got pregnant with my second son, Earl, my youngest, probably at the worst time of my life. God works in strange ways. I was pregnant with him I got pregnant with him while we were couch hopping. We were bouncing from house to house. I don't remember if this was Brockton, Quincy, what was the other town? Weymouth, Braintree, I'm not sure. But that's when I got pregnant with Earl. I continued to bounce around. Nobody knew I was pregnant. And then I told my honey that I was expecting a baby. We naturally were scared. We were scared. By the grace of God, I made the choice to go to a shelter. And I'm stubborn, and I grew up in a big house, and a big house with just me and my family. I never lived in a shared living community. Okay. So off to a shelter in Quincy I went, pregnant. The things I saw there, I cannot unsee. It is not the place for a pregnant woman to be. Shortly thereafter, with a lot of fight and advocating for myself, I got transferred to a family shelter. And when I say I had to advocate for myself, that was because the lovely staff at the shelter I resided at did not want to transfer me to a family shelter because, in theory, I could have had my son there. They just would have took him from me. Yeah. So, by the grace of God, I got a letter to transfer to a family shelter. Now, that family shelter is a shelter in Dorchester, has literally given me the tools that I still use today to sustain my home. They taught me life skills, how to live like a person, like an actual functioning member of society. They taught me how to budget. They taught me, well, they didn't teach me. I chose to learn this stuff on my own because it was pretty much all optional. But when there's free learning, I'm the biggest nerd. I'm the first one to go for it. So they taught us how to open a bank account. They taught us so much things, and I was so, I was yearning to learn. I know that just rhymed. Don't call me corny, but I was desperate for new information, for a new way to live life. So Earl and I stayed at this family shelter, St. Mary's in Dorchester, for about 2 years. I was pregnant when I went there. I had him 2 weeks after going to the shelter, and we stayed there for about 2 years. And those 2 years I met some wonderful people. They were not the worst years of my life. I learned who I was in that shelter. I found out who I was. I wasn't this person that maybe one of my parents wanted to me. I wasn't just a beautiful face. I wasn't just someone's girlfriend. I found out who I was, and I found my likes again, and I found my desires, and I found my hobbies, and I started reading, and I started writing. And all of a sudden I started having goals, and I started wanting to have a better life. So I enrolled in college. I made dean's list. I did all these things while homeless. My GPA was like a 3.7. Things I never thought I could do, I did while homeless in a shelter with my 1-year-old child. So fast forward a bit to 5 years ago. About 5 years ago, a little over 5 years ago, I got my first residence, my very first own home, and that's where I reside. I love it, and I can't say the past 6 years have been a bed of roses. Life has ups and downs. I will forever be grateful for my home, and I'm forever grateful for my family, but depression is something I have experienced my whole life, and I don't decide when it comes. It just happens. And having a home, having children, especially one that's not living with me and one that lives here, and having all these things, it can create a lot of pressure. So a few years ago, first few years of living here was great, but a few years ago, I started feeling that pressure that society puts on us, especially as women. I felt that I wasn't good enough, that I was too big, that my eyes, I was picking myself apart, that my eyes are too big, I look like an alien, I'll never be a good mom because I don't look like them. Just completely beating myself down. Holding on to what anyone said badly about me with sentimental value. Like holding on to it like it mattered. Why in the world would we ever hold on to something that some asshole says like it's an honored family member? That makes no sense. So today I know that, but back then I didn't. So depression, it came. A few years ago, depression came. And by the grace of God, that's all I can say, I pulled out of it. How did I pull out of it? It wasn't easy. I'm still pulling myself out of my depression and all that, and I have a lot of ways that I deal with it, but this right here is one of the ways that I deal with my depression, anxiety, and PTSD. Talking. Talk therapy helps. That's why I'm talking about this issue right now. There are far too many people, okay, who are contemplating taking their lives right now as we speak because of what somebody said to them. Okay? Let's say that again for the people in the back. Your words matter. There are far too many people contemplating taking their lives, their very own lives, and I'm talking young people, because of what a person said to them. Words matter. I was that person. Yeah, everything looks good. People probably think I have this great life. But one thing you could say to a person can literally make them contemplate ending their own life. Of all the things in the world we choose to say to one another, why go there? And see, I'm 36. I can take it today. Yes, have I thought crazy, stupid things in the past? Absolutely. But I can handle that today. You see, I'm 36. But I'm speaking for the 10-year-olds, the 12-year-olds who are taking their lives because of what someone said on social media, because of someone in school called them fat. There are girls throwing up their food right now as we speak. Words matter. You matter. And you decide what you put out into this world. You get what you give. If you give out hate, you're going to receive hate. When you give love, you are shown love. So I kind of just wanted to do this to let you guys know a little bit about me beyond the Scentsy business, because I feel like that's what people associate me with. I'm a person. I have feelings. I am a Scentsy director, and I'm a bomb-ass Scentsy director, but that's because it's my passion, and that's because I like to inspire people, and I like to share stories like this with my Scentsy team and others. So I figured today, I can share things like this with my team. What's the difference with y'all? Why can't I share it with more people? So maybe more people will understand that temporary problem that you're crying yourself to sleep over, it's temporary. And it's not going to last forever. And tomorrow you might meet somebody who's going to inspire you to keep going and show you a better way. And that's it. So, you can hear my little one yelling in the background. You want to go see what he's doing? I always feel like Facebook is like the highlight reel too. So I'm like here to bring like the authenticity to it. Like, I'm not a highlight reel. People see me, they think I got the perfect, like, no. I do not. By no means. But let's see what this little one's doing. What are you doing? Oh no! Oh no!
Put your hands up.
Say hi to live.
Hi.
Say hi.
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 Put your hands up.
All right, y'all. I'm going to end this. Earl is playing police officer again. Oh my God, y'all. Anyone else's son want to be a police officer? Because he is on detective mode.
You're under arrest.
24/7. I mean, I get interrogated. It is cray-cray. All right, y'all.
You're under arrest.
I just wanted to share that with y'all.
You're under arrest.
All right, I gotta just finish this. All right, cutie.
Okay.
You can arrest me later.
Yeah.
Say hi.
Bye. Hi.
But no, really, I just wanted to share that so you can guys kind of see a little bit more about me. I'm a Scentsy consultant. And if anyone wants to talk, Earl Jaden, please stop If anyone wants to talk, if you need someone to talk to, I'm always here. Shoot me a message. I do not mind at all. Okay? All right, y'all. That's a little bit about me. I'm going to start doing these about once a week. We're going to have like a Tiffany Bet You Didn't Know hour. There might be some things we won't be sharing. But y'all have a wonderful Sunday.
Yeah, bye. Bounce